Bangalore, India. India's attempt to land a robotic spacecraft near the Moon's south pole on Saturday appeared to end in failure. The initial parts of the descent, as engines fired to slow it down from orbit, went smoothly. But less than 2 miles above the surface, the trajectory diverged from the planned path. The mission control room fell silent as communications from the lander were lost. A member of the staff was seen patting the back of K. Sivan, the director of India's space program. He later announced that the spacecraft was operating as expected until an altitude of 2.1 kilometers, or 1.3 miles. The data is being analyzed, he said. The partial failure of the Chandrayaan-2 mission and orbiter remains in operation would delay the country's bid to join an elite club of nations that have landed in one piece on the Moon's surface. If the spacecraft crashed, although a communications glitch was also possible, it occurred during a period that Dr. Sivan had called 15 minutes of terror. A series of steps had to be completed by computers on board the spacecraft in the correct sequence, with no opportunity for do-overs. The Moon is littered with the remains of spacecraft that have tried and failed to land in one piece. 2 American craft, from the robotic Surveyor series that helped blaze the trail for Apollo, crashed in the 1960s. Several probes from the Soviet lunar program also collided with the Moon's surface. Beresheet, a spacecraft built by an Israeli nonprofit, crashed in April after a command was incorrectly sent as it landed. While India may not have stuck the landing on its first try, its attempt highlighted how its engineering prowess and decades of space development have combined with its global ambitions. It remains to be seen what the crash will mean in India's domestic politics. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the country's nationalist leader, has embraced the country's space program to raise India's brand on the global stage and make Indians feel fired up about their nation's growing strength. "This is all about national pride," said Pallava Bagla, co-author of a book about Indian space exploration and a dedicated space journalist. While the mission's partial failure might pose a setback, Mr. Modi's popularity just seems to grow, despite challenges from job losses and international criticism of his recent moves in the disputed territory of Kashmir. "The country is proud of you and your hard work has taught a lot. Hope for the best," Mr. Modi said on Saturday while speaking to some of the mission's managers after it failed. He added, "With this you will learn a lot. Our journey will continue." Space has become a bit of a craze in India. In some Indian cities, posters for Chandrayaan-2 have been plastered on giant billboards. School children in space classes are launching rockets made from empty plastic soda bottles. In July, when India sent up the rocket carrying the lander, millions watched the live broadcasts of the rocket cutting into the sky on top of a funnel of fire. The Moon mission has been years in the making for ISRO, India's version of NASA, founded in 1969, when components of rockets were transported by bicycles and assembled by hand. Hundreds of millions of Indians still live deep in poverty. India's philosophy is that space development can be used for human development. Its satellites help predict storms and save countless lives by sending out early warnings. And it hopes future business opportunities in space will create more work that lifts up more Indians. While the landing may have failed, India could try for the Moon again. And it also plans to build future robotic explorers headed for Venus, Mars, and the Sun. In the next decade, it intends to send Indian astronauts into Earth orbit aboard its own spacecraft for the first time. ________. Jeffrey Getlemon reported from New Delhi. Hari Kumar and K. Schultz reported from Bangalore. Kenneth Chong reported from New York.